What does justice look like to you?
Well, everything is beautiful and rebuilt and restored, and we just think it's just time now that we have justice on all of that, where we can live all our life, that type of life over again as a grown-up.
That was 109-year-old Viola Fletcher right here on the readout, one of the last 3 known survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre, when a white mob descended on the prosperous all-black neighborhood of Greenwood in 1921, destroying it and killing hundreds of people 102 years ago. The 3 remaining survivors are still searching for justice to ensure that this horrific moment in history will not be forgotten. It's due to their persistence that we remember the massacre at all. In his book, Built from the Fire, journalist Victor Luckerson writes that for more than a century, Greenwood has been grappling with wrong in all its combative forms. Wickedness flamed white hot in 1921, but the embers continued to burn long after. Tulsa wanted badly to forget, but Greenwood demanded the city remember. Recently, Joy spoke to Luckerson about the new book.
Congratulations on it. This is what, a 3-year project?
A 5-year project.
5-year project.
Yeah, it's been a long road.
So tell me what Greenwood was like before the massacre. Who were some of the great characters from this book?
You know, one of the pleasures of really working on this project was learning about these Greenwood folks who were there in the community in the 1910s. In early Oklahoma, Greenwood was known as the Eden of the West. It was really almost this black utopia in people's minds. And I love learning about some of the folks who were living there. J.H. and Carly Goodwin, they owned a grocery store and a funeral home. Lula Williams, the owner of the Dreamland Theater. I love Lula because she was a woman who was an entrepreneur and really defending her own autonomy, making sure that folks knew that she owned that Dreamland, not her husband. Yeah. And I love being able to sort of pull out those kind of narratives, really making people feel alive in that community. You know, J.B. Stratford owned the Stratford Hotel, one of the biggest black-owned hotels in the community. And even beyond those places, it was a place of corner stores, dive bars. Whether you had a penny or $100, Greenwood was a place that really came alive every weekend. Yeah. The Maid's Day Off every Thursday, all the maids in Tulsa were off work, so they would come into Greenwood, and if the women are off work, the guys are going to be out there too. Right. And so those are the most active days in the community as well. Yeah. And so it really was just a beautiful, lively district. Somewhere that I think black folks across the country, aspire to have that kind of solidarity and community. And, obviously it's a tragedy that, we had that in that community. And it was taken from us so brutally. May 31st, 1921. Right. And, Mother Fletcher talked about being a little kid and it just being so idyllic. And you think about in that era, in, the early, 20th century, for there to be an idyllic place for a black child to grow up was so rare and so fortunate. There were Greenwoods around the country that were these wonderful communities. So we know some of the story about how a lie about a young black man stole Greenwood away. But you get into some of the details of the land theft and the ongoing attack on Greenwood after the massacre. Talk a little bit about that. Joy, I think it's so important that people understand this is not just about a mob. This is not what happened to Greenwood is not just about nameless white men with guns going through the community. I choose to focus much more on institutions. A lot of times I think people want to find a smoking gun that proves who was responsible for what happened in Greenwood in 1921. But we already have those smoking guns. The smoking gun is the fact that the City of Tulsa Police Department deputized white people in Greenwood on the night of the massacre, handing them badges and stars to give them the authority to go and kill black people. The smoking gun is the fact that when one white man in Tulsa walked into the police department, a police officer told him, "Get busy, get a gun, kill a black person." The smoking gun is the fact that after the race massacre, real estate developers immediately launched a scheme to seize Greenwood land from black people in that community. And so we already understand that there are so many institutions in Tulsa that were conspiring against Greenwood. And guess what? Those institutions are still here. Yeah. The City of Tulsa government, still in power. City Police Department, still here. The Chamber of Commerce, all these institutions that played a role in the race massacre are ongoing today, but none of them have atoned for what they did. I think it's so important in this moment right now, we're discussing reparations nationally. And when in Tulsa we have a reparations case ongoing, that these institutions be held to account. Yeah, I mean, everything from the newspaper that you participated in the lies and then participated in the cover-up, the insurance companies that wouldn't honor claims. What is the state of Greenwood today? You know, I actually remember my very first time in Greenwood 5 years ago when I started this project. I really had in my mind that idyllic vision we discussed, you know, the entrepreneurship, the success, the solidarity. And I was really surprised to discover that Greenwood has been taken in a lot of ways. My very first time there was the anniversary of the race massacre in 2018. And I expected there to be hundreds of people out there, you know, commemorating what had happened, showing some reverence for that sacred ground. Instead, there was a baseball game going on. There's actually a minor league baseball stadium in Greenwood, and there are more people concerned with going to see the Tulsa Drillers play than commemorating the deaths of black folks in that community. And so really it's a place of, I think, chilling paradoxes. You know, you have these commemorative plaques, for example, on the sidewalks, but they abut these new luxury high-rises that are for white folks mostly. And so really it's a community, I think, that has suffered in some ways from a hollow symbolism that permeates the space instead of tangible outcomes that benefit the folks who suffered from that massacre, 3 of whom are still with us.
Yeah, absolutely. In a state where they are attempting to erase the history of black folks, including the black folks in Greenwood, using the law. Built from the Fire is the name of the book, The Epic Story of Tulsa's Greenwood District, America's Black Wall Street. Victor Luckerson, congratulations on writing this book. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you for being here.